Jay-Z has 24 Grammy wins under his name, with a discography that might as well be diamond encrusted. But before this platinum artist came to be, he was actually a diamond in the rough during his early days. A troubled childhood that had him slinging bricks instead of rhymes, Jay-Z built his empire up using a rock-solid foundation. In this video, we'll be going over the life and times of Jay-Z, covering his journey from a teen drug dealer to entrepreneur. Stick around till the end to learn about the mindset that led him to the success he has today. Early life. To fully understand Jay-Z's struggles growing up, we have to go back to a time before he was the Jay-Z that we know today. Sean Corey Carter was born on December 4th, 1969 in Brooklyn, New York. Jay-Z grew up with a loving family surrounded by relatives that would come by to visit every day, filling each day with something to do. From an early age, it was apparent that little Sean Carter had a love for music. Convenient considering his parents were also avid collectors of vinyl records, giving Sean a wealth of music to listen to. His love for music continued to show in his studies, where he would get amazing grades in all subjects and exceptionally high grades in English. It looked like Sean had a promising future ahead of him. That is, until crack came into the neighborhood. Crack ruined the neighborhood that he lived in, causing random bouts of violence and other street crimes to run rampant. In fact, he would often wake up to gunshots in the morning. As if the rampant drug violence wasn't enough, his father also left their family when he was just 11 years old. His father's absence shook Sean to his very core, having him withdraw from most social gatherings. It's at this age when he would look to music to soothe his pain. Sean Carter began writing various raps and rhymes in his notebook, writing out lyrics and banging his fist on the furniture to try and figure out his beat and flow. His mother was more than supportive of her son's newfound emotional and creative outlet, even going so far as to buy him a beatbox. With his mother's encouragement, he built on his lyricism even more, grabbing every dictionary and book he could find and making connections to the music industry. He began freestyling and rapping in front of his friends, earning him the nickname of Jazzy, which would then grow into his current persona, Jay-Z. All of his connections would pay off at the age of 15, when he would be exposed to the music business. And it was nothing like he expected. Music producers constantly berating and molding artists into something they weren't. Jay-Z soon realized that this wasn't the life that he wanted, and it definitely couldn't pay the bills either. Beaten and broke, he let go of his studies and instead chose to hustle crack around his neighborhood. Jay-Z got accustomed to the street life and knew the hustle. But to Jay-Z, it was never about the glory of selling crack.
I liked it. I was good at it.
It was all about the money. It was all about survival. Soon enough, his cousins would get a hold of him and convince him to stop wasting his talents as a musician by hustling crack and to try to give music another shot. With the help of friends and connections in the music business, he finally got the underground fan following he'd always wanted. But the underground reputation and the hustler lifestyle left a mark on him, making producers and label companies turn him away. And at some point, Jay-Z would have enough. Jay-Z would take things into his own hands, and thus Rocafella Records was born. Rocafella Records. From cockroach couches to high luxury houses, Rocafella Records wasn't just a record label made by Jay-Z, it is Jay-Z. Established in 1995, the record label gave Jay-Z the first ever mainstream platform for his music. But maybe mainstream is a bit too extravagant of a word, considering Jay-Z started out by slinging his albums out of the back of his van. But his efforts wouldn't go unnoticed for too long, since soon enough his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, released in 1996, received much critical praise. The trend of Jay-Z releasing successful breakthrough albums would continue on throughout his career, carrying Rocafella to bigger and better things, expanding offices, artists, staff, all because Jay-Z was slinging his lyrical rhymes and beats to the masses. As Rocafella Records gained traction in the late 1990s, it expanded its roster to include other notable artists, such as Beanie Sigel, Memphis Bleek, and DJ Clue. The label's reach got so broad that it eventually grew into a partnership with Def Jam Recordings, one of the largest hip-hop record labels at the time. Perhaps one of the biggest entrepreneurial maneuvers that Jay-Z pulled off was the sudden announcement of his retirement from music. The sudden retirement introduced a scarcity to Rocafella's main product, Jay-Z, and as anyone with any economical knowledge knows, scarcity equals more sales. Rocafella Records then released Jay-Z's retirement concert concert on DVD entitled Fade to Black, leading to one of the sneakiest and most successful marketing campaigns from Jay-Z, especially considering he returned to the mic just a year later. But as successful as things became, internal turmoil between the founders of Rocafella eventually led to its dissolution as an independent label. Thankfully, Jay-Z had the business acumen to jump ship early on and instead bring the rock brand to all new heights. The rock brand. When Jay-Z saw the success of Rocafella Records, he didn't just stop there. For Jay-Z, diversification of his portfolio came naturally, and soon he expanded Rocafella from just a record label to the rock brand and business empire that he has today. One of the business ventures that Jay-Z undertook was Rocawear, a clothing label that focused on urban and streetwear-inspired fashion that was a perfect fit for the hip-hop community. Rocawear became a prominent player in the fashion industry, offering a range of clothing and accessories for men, women, and children. But being the entrepreneur that he is, he knew that the business held more value under other managing hands. That's why in 2007, Rocawear was acquired by the Iconics brand group for a reported $204 million, money that Jay-Z would then funnel into other business ventures. Another branch of the rock brand was the Roc Nation Entertainment Company, which was founded in 2008. Rock Management was an entertainment powerhouse that became more famous than Rocafella Records itself, signing on famous artists such as Rihanna, J. Cole, Shakira, Meek Mill, DJ Khaled, and many others. Aside from musical talent, Roc Nation also operates as a talent agency that represents athletes, actors, and other public figures, one of which is NBA All-Star Kevin Durant. Speaking of sports, Jay-Z even owned the Brooklyn Nets at some point, but soon relinquished his ownership once he started the Roc Nation sports division in order to avoid any potential conflicts of interest. But the rock brand wasn't the only thing growing. Jay-Z was also growing into his own brand. Star power. Aside from leveraging Roc Nation as a brand, Jay-Z was also leveraging his celebrity status. Jay-Z began using the profits from his music career and Roc Nation, funneling these profits into acquiring small brands for himself. He began purchasing luxury brands such as the champagne brand Ace of Spades in 2014 and the cognac brand Doucet in 2012, leveraging his star power to further push these luxury brands into the spotlight. In 2015, Jay-Z also purchased the Norwegian music streaming service Tidal in an attempt to provide higher quality streaming than other music platforms, a testament to Jay-Z's natural entrepreneurial spirit. The blueprint. Jay-Z rose from being a high school dropout slinging crack from neighborhood to neighborhood to a rap star that grew his business portfolio to the billions. While it's true that Jay-Z was a gifted lyricist with an ear for a good beat, what many don't acknowledge is his natural entrepreneurial gift. As horrible as slinging crack was, this was still part of Jay-Z's early entrepreneurial experience. Because of his experience, Jay-Z grew up hungry, with an eye for what the customer wants. In fact, Jay-Z would even show early flashes of entrepreneurial brilliance when he would travel through cities that had less crack dealers, a clear display of identifying supply and demand. Because of his hunger and experience, Jay-Z has been able to build an empire where he and his queen bee could live a comfortable life. But as inspiring as his story is, maybe start off by selling baked goods instead of crack?